Hello, folks. Meteorologist Jamie Cagle here with an update for Sunday's storm system. And right now, we're keeping a very close eye on the Sioux Falls area. That is where we have a very, very intense and very destructive storm system coming through. This has also been the area we're going to watch very closely as we got closer to 5 and 6 o'clock. Everything is playing out as we expect, but the very intense storm system down there. All is quiet across much of our region right now. We do have a tornado watch until 10 p.m. It does include the southwest corner of Minnesota there. This is also going to be the greatest potential for tornadoes, as well as some very, very large hail and some very strong damaging winds. When you break down the severe weather threats, as you look to the east, hail is still going to be widespread, our biggest concern, but we're also going to be monitoring for very dangerous winds along the I-90 corridor, and those very intense winds will be making its way across the southern third of our region. We could have some damaging winds even around the Twin Cities, but the I-90 corridor highlighted very much so there. And again, we're expecting to see some very intense storms travel east along that corridor. And once again, just highlighting that tornado threat really is situated in southwest Minnesota. That being said, though, as we go through our evening, we are going to be watching isolated storms popping out ahead of this complex coming out of southwest Minnesota. These will travel north towards Mankato, towards Owatonna, Faribault, making their way towards the Twin Cities. Meanwhile, still intense storm system in the southwest corner of the state. Could have some isolated tornadoes there. Then it becomes a little more linear. When you start to see it line up like that, now we're going to see less of a tornado threat and more of that straight line wind threat. And again, also highlighting that the I-90 corridor will see some of the most intense winds. Around the Twin Cities, 10, 11, 12, midnight, that is when we should see some of the biggest and strongest storms for the metro. Midnight into 1, 2 a.m., everything is going to weaken just a little bit and continue into western Wisconsin and through the overnight hours. And just a heads up, as we roll into Monday, things will be quiet, but we have another round of storms coming our way. Not nearly as intense as what we have for tonight, but more rain and more storms quite possible for your Monday evening.